you wanted to match to something out in a rural area or a place like that, you'd need to have probably your own data set rather than a commercial data set to use.
Okay, next question is point level data for Canada, rooftop or parcel centroid?
It's a mix of both. It's mostly parcel centroid, but in some of the more urban areas, the parcel centroid of an office building or an apartment complex would in fact be a rooftop.
Okay. How is the data being stored on the back end? And they asked, for example, is it a SQL or a MongoDB or something like that? The
most common way to store it on the back end is in a proprietary flat file data structure. We are, in fact, this year going to be releasing a SQL structure that will work in both Microsoft SQL Server and Oracle for use. So currently it's proprietary. Soon it will be released out into a wider format.
How does geocoding work in countries such as Japan that does not usually have street names or address ranges, and point addressing is not always available?
It's a great question. So Japan, in Japan, the buildings are, the way they're numbered tends to be, depending on what area, but it tends to be numbered according to the tenure of who's lived there. So the first person moved into a block area would get the first number, and so it would be sort of random around the block area. So in Japan, if you have a street or a block number, it's fairly generalized geocoding or a postcode. But so in Japan, to get the most accuracy, you have to have the exact